in my opinion. Anyway, it's Alirien, and today I'm going to be going over everything we got at both Louisiana and Texas Renaissance festivals this year, since we went to 3 weekends of the 2 festivals combined in a fairly short span of time, and with everything else going on, I never really had a chance to sit down and film separate hauls, so it just made sense to put it all together into one. So I have a list written down here, and I'm going to be putting up photos of everything rather than gathering everything all together to show you live in front of you. The only thing I physically have in front of me is the mug. I'm going to go over everything from Louisiana first, and then I'll go over everything from Texas. And these are just in the order I could remember they existed, and as I'm able to remember the shops, I will mention them, or I will put them in text on screen, so that if you would like to find that vendor either next year at Ren Fair or online, if they have a social media presence or an internet presence, you will be able to do that. Starting off fairly strong with the Highland Kilt Company, which we went to 2 separate times. Technically 3, but one of the visits was at Texas Run Fest, and it was just to ask a question about stuff. While we were there, just to stop in and look at the kilts and the tartans, partially because some of our friends wanted to see what was there, we spotted the Highland cow plushies that they had that were wearing tiny kilts, and on mentioning them, the 2 individuals working in the shop at the time mentioned that the tiny kilts were in fact koozies. They have a Velcro fastener, so they actually wrap around the way a kilt does, and that way they're adjustable, so you can fit them around Slim Boy cans or regular cans or tall ones. Chris put it on his drinking horn for the rest of the day after we bought it, and it's adorable. We got it in the same brown watch tartan to match his kilt, and it even has the teeny tiny little sporran. The sporran is not functional, it is literally just a piece of leather folded over with a snap and just kind of glued together, but it's still really, really cute. Chris also got a fresh kilt pin that day, this beautiful rearing lion on the sword, which is fabulous. And on our second visit on the 30th of November, he forgot his sporran, so we stopped in there to get a replacement sporran for the day. And it's still a very, very nice sporran. It's not the best one he owns, nor is it the worst. It's kind of in the middle. He has a couple other ones that remain his favorites, but this one worked as a quick replacement for the sake of having one for the day, because he does actually use it as a pocket while he is kilted. Right near Highland Kilt Company, up toward the front, is a booth that's been there for the last couple of years now called Evil Confections, and the woman who owns and runs it makes fudge and caramel, and they're so good. You can see here I got 3 different flavors. One is the peppermint bark, or peppermint hot chocolate, excuse me. One is the cranberry cheesecake, I want to say, and the last one is the cherry cordial. And I remember the peppermint hot chocolate from the past. It's very, very good. I haven't had a chance to taste them yet. I'll try to taste them before I get this edited and posted, so you can see my review of the other 2 flavors. Next up, of course, when we went to see Jacques the Whipper, I mentioned in the vlog that Chris went and bought me one of his pins, which were designed by Red from Overly Sarcastic Productions, but I realized outside of that vlog that I never got a truly good photo, so here is a proper photo of said pin. It is gorgeous. I love it so much. He's got the fire whip, which is even better, and the Fifi horn is hanging off of his hip there, and it's fabulous. I have this red leather mantle, which you can see me wearing toward the end of the second vlog from Louisiana. It's real leather. It wasn't too terribly expensive because it is just like a little mantle capelet sort of design as opposed to a full cloak or some of the other larger pieces. But my favorite parts are how huge and deep the hood of this thing is. And on the back, there's this beautiful detail patch on either side of that metallic gold leopard print, which is such a wonderful like touch without it being like covered in glitter or sequins. It's a nice sort of, you know, extra pop of something to make it more interesting without it being over the top. This was one of the last things I bought. In fact, this was the very last thing I bought from Louisiana, was this key ring made from a silver spoon or fork, a silverware handle, and this gorgeous bead that looks kind of like tiger eye. And I hooked it right onto one of my pouches so I wouldn't lose it. I haven't really decided where I'm gonna put it now that it's home, but it was just so pretty. I have a ring actually that looks like a silverware handle that's been wrapped around. So that sort of thing super interests me. If you haven't figured out by now, I'm a little bit of a magpie with my stuff. There was the fantastic teacup holster. This was from Side Quest Leather, which is also near the front. I've spotted these a couple of years in a row from a few different vendors, and I finally bit the bullet, so to speak, in terms of actually getting one. Because for a long time I was like, I kind of just want to get the holster and then have the teacup and the saucer separately, because I do have some teacups and some saucers here that I could use with it. But I spotted this one with this beautiful, beautiful set of the teacup and saucer and said, screw it, I'll get the whole thing. So now I have that as well. I haven't actually used the dishes yet. I should probably pull them out and wash them and use them. But for now, they're very pretty and they're safe and sound in the frog. Speaking of holsters, I got 2 lovely items for my friends over at Weird Armories this year. I spotted they had a bunch of new D&D and general tabletop class pins, and so finally I can properly represent my first ever D&D class that I have ever played, which is of course Gunslinger, which does not exist in D&D 5e. It's a Pathfinder class, so normally I don't see it anywhere, because when people make stuff related to tabletop classes, usually they're going off of the core classes from Dungeons and Dragons. Gunslinger's never in the mix, nor is Witch, because that is the Pathfinder version of the Warlock, which is the D&D class. I got that, as well as this set of bells that look like holly berries with a little holly leaf. All of the leather items that they sell are hand painted, hand tooled by Cynthia, who is one of the owners of Weird Armories. She does fantastic work, so I definitely recommend checking them out. I got Chris this tiny, adorable little dragon. I have one of these like leather made dragon clips as a barrette for my hair. I've had it for a few years now, and this year when we passed a shop selling them at Louisiana, they were on the loop along the lake between the King's Kitchen Queen Stage area and the crossroads of like one of the dress shops, and I think the fortune teller was over there, and the elf ear shop. But anyway, they had these itty bitty bitty ones that were intended for guys to clip in their beards, or if you just wanted a smaller one for whatever reason. So they didn't have a mithrily colored one, so I got the silver one, which was the next best thing to represent Dags, who is one of his characters. And he was like, yes, I will wear the beard dragon. So you can see it briefly in the vlog, and it now sits on his nightstand. I, of course, got myself a fresh corset from Corset Punk and Kilts. This is the Pride of Scotland tartan, which is more fitting into my typical scheme and preferences as far as colors and designs than the first corset I got from them years ago, which is the black and green one that y'all have seen before. It's the corset that I wear for Poison Ivy, but this new one is much more my style. It's that pretty tartan fabric, and the Pride of Scotland is my colors, and so you can see me wearing it again, basically on the exact same outfit at Texas when we took our engagement photos. Definitely recommend them for corsetry, especially because they're going to work with you to make sure that they give you the size of corset that actually fits your body. And once you buy from them the first time, they have a discount that all returning customers get to use, and they're always available for any sort of tweaks or alterations. They're willing to do custom orders, all sorts of things. Definitely give them a look-see. Chris got himself a fresh bottle of cologne, and we got a candle as well from Mudcat Whiskers. They make beard products as well, which is the main reason we went over there, but we agreed that he has so many beard products already, mostly from Fable Beard. He didn't need any more beard lotion or conditioner or soap or anything, so he got a bottle of cologne instead. The scent leather, and then we got the Papa's Pipe candle, which is like tobacco and I think cherry and wood. It's very, very nice. It's not overly floral. I don't like anything that's overly floral because it just smells like a stale old lady's perfume. Or I should rephrase that. It smells like your quintessential old lady's stale perfume that's been over applied. The old lady isn't stale, the perfume is. Can't believe I said that. We also got 2 candles from a different shop called Beautiful Day Farms. It was on the Paradox Loop between the Paradox Pub and the Woodland Stage area. They have honeys, they had, I think, like lotions and some personal care items, and of course they had these candles. So we got hazelnut roast, which smells exactly as it sounds, like, you know, hazelnut that's been toasted, and it's very warm, and it's the closest to a coffee shop scent you can get without it actually having coffee. And we also got Unforgiven, which just is a quintessential cowboy smell. It's rustic and it's leathery and it's unpolished and it's great. At the fortune teller booth next to the Painted Badger Inn, I got a random tarot card pull and a random rune pull. Basically, they've already taken these little tarot cards and shuffled them into envelopes, and you just pick whichever one. It's like $1 per card, and I think $1 or $3 per rune. I don't remember the exact price. It's not that big of a deal to me personally. And when you open it, you pull out the card and it shows you what the card looks like and explains its usual meanings. So I got the Ace of Cups, and the rune that I got was Perthrow. So those two things together were very, very invigorating to find once I got home, because I didn't open them until I got home. I got this adorable little guinea pig who I can't remember what kind of hair he's made out of, but he's adorable. He's very, very soft. My cat immediately tried to eat him when she first smelled him, so I had to hide him from her. But he is from the candy and toy shop that is across the way from Weird Armory and next to Pastime Perfumery. I cannot remember the name of the shop. I will find it for you. It is on text on the it is in text on the screen for you right now. There are these 2 lip balms and some bath tea pouches that came from Ever After Soap and Fiber. They sell goat's milk soaps, the herbal bath teas, as you see here. I got Mom a couple of ones for muscle soreness. I also got one for sinus congestion, sinus relief for myself. So when spring comes around, my allergies are usually worse for that, so I'll have on hand for springtime allergies. And these 2 lip balms, of course, just sounded absolutely delicious. Cherry and eggnog. And I can never have enough lip balm. My lips dry out so easily in spite of living where I do. And last but not least, from Thomas the Lapidary, I got these 2 lovely, lovely cameo style pins. One of the Capricorn goat head, because he had designs for all 12 of the Western Zodiac, of course, and one with a compass rose, and that is going to be for Maury Ellen's kit, because I think it's just perfect to put on her lapel or somewhere on her hat, since she is captain of the ship and commodore of technically a whole fleet. So moving on to the Texas Ren Fest items, and these are going to be a bit more difficult to remember the exact name of each shop where I got them, especially because some of the purchases were so off the cuff and a sudden thing of, oh, that's really nice, I'm gonna get that I didn't necessarily commit to my brain where it was. It's also because even though I know my way around Texas Ren Fest fairly well, I don't know the details of every single shop, and it's a bigger festival, so it's easier to get lost and confused there. But I'll do my damnedest to remember. The first items I got were this little bitty selenite bowl, because I have, you can just see it off to the side there in the picture, but I have a larger tray carved out of selenite. That's the triple moon symbol that I will set some of my jewelry in at night to cleanse and recharge. And I wanted this smaller bowl specifically for my rings, at the very least my engagement ring, just so that way it doesn't get lost in the jumble of all of the other jewelry. And from that same shop, which was called Crystal Garden, I want to say. It's right next to the jousting arena. I think Odin's table is right between them and the jousting arena. I also got this beautiful Evil Eye owl ornament, which is now hanging in our room. You can actually, that is Ginny D's 2025 calendar that it is currently hanging on. It's not going to stay there. I intend to put it somewhere else, but for the sake of hanging it up so I didn't forget it existed and being able to take the picture. That is where it currently sits, because I just thought that was so pretty. And I used to have a really nice glass evil eye pendant on a copper chain, and now I have no idea where that evil eye went. All I can figure is that that particular one soaked something up that I needed to be away from, so I must have lost it for a reason. Or my ex stole it. I have no idea. And at this point, I don't care. Oh, and I also got this folding fan from that same shop as well. Partially because I have two different leather fan holsters that can go on my belt during a festival, but they're different sizes, and so different fans fit each one. And I wanted a nice small purple and blue one that fit the smaller fan holster that I had actually brought. I got this little black pin also at a booth near the jousting and combat arena that just says boots first, then corset. Because I have a banner that I purchased our first year at Texas Ren Fest that hangs in the house that says boots, then corset. And that goes for basically any sort of period or costume wear. If you are wearing anything that is going to be restrictive around your middle, put whatever your shoes on are first. This goes for guys in armor too. There are several shops that sell jewelry and hair accessories on the Renfest grounds in Texas. This one was closer to the Italy and like Pirate Cove and Fairy Garden area, but they had this gorgeous hair sword. And I had previously bought a hair sword from another vendor at Louisiana last year that unfortunately was too thin. When I tried to put it in my hair, it immediately tried to bend, and I was very afraid that it was going to snap. As pretty as it is, I am using that basically as a display piece. So I found this much sturdier sword-shaped hairpin that my fiance and our friend said looked like a sword out of Conan. It may be inspired by such, but I'm pretty sure it's Wonder Woman's God Killer sword. Either way, it's a very cool hairpin that is shaped like a sword. Every woman with long hair who uses hairpins needs one that looks like a sword, in my opinion. And from that same booth, I got this teeny tiny little ring. I've been wearing it as a toe ring. I'm pretty sure it's intended as a toe ring because usually the adjustable ones are either for your thumb or your toes. I'm not showing it on my toe. You don't get it that easy, but it's very pretty. I know these are probably just like really inexpensive versions of stones, but they look like aquamarine. Aquamarine is associated with Pisces. I have Pisces in a few places in my birth chart, and Pisces is associated with the feet. So a toe ring with aquamarine colored stones seemed like a perfect fit. There was this, which you guys probably glimpsed in the tarot reading video, but this lovely simple little wooden Wheel of the Year stand. And I have actually been turning it very slowly to put whatever period we're in at the top, but it has the depiction of Yggdrasil with the, I believe it's the Valknut in the front of it and the runes around it. Around that, it has the 8 sabbats of the pagan Wheel of the Year. Around that are the different trees that are associated with each point in time. So like what kind, like a wand or a staff made out of that kind of wood is going to be most useful, or when that tree is best in season. And then around that, you have the 12 months of the Western Gregorian calendar and what the full moon is called in each of those 12 months. It took me a minute to figure out how to put the stand together because I was having a very, very foolish brain day that day. So that is probably going to pop up in my tarot videos from now on, just because it's a nice little set piece to have. I think it's super interesting. There was this lovely made of horn cup with the wolf carved on the front of it. This was from Fat Dragon, spelled PH because he's cool. And from there we also got a couple of horn like wine cups for my fiance's boss and his dad that had very pretty metal bands around the rim and around the middle. But I saw this small little, I think he called it a whiskey cup. It's intended, you know, for a smaller drink. As you can see, the size of it sitting in my hand. But I just thought it was so neat with the wolf carved on the front. I went over to, this was like the very last place I went and bought stuff from. So I stopped by Opinicus Soaps. I got my mom a bottle of lotion that was called Country Store that smelled very homey and classic and just very comforting. Chris was purchased a bottle of beard conditioner in the scent Moroccan Bazaar, which was very on par with some other scents that he already has and that we like. Sandalwood and just rich smelling. And then I got 3 tubes of lip balm. I got 2 in chai tea latte, which now that I'm realizing that that's the name, it should just say chai latte, and 1 in pina colada, because that sounded amazing. But I've had the chai latte flavor of lip balm before, and it is one of my favorite lip balms I've ever used. I am actually still working through 2 tubes from the last time I purchased from them of caramel apple and blackberry. And since I'm on the last 2 tubes, that's part of why I went and got some more. Lots of lip balm this time around, because there's also a tube of lip balm that I got from Father Time Herbals. The flavor is vanilla bean. In total, 6 tubes of lip balm from my 3 total Ren Fair visits. That's an average of 2 per trip. I go through lip balm, guys. I finally got myself a string of boot bells, of beautiful, beautiful boot bells. And that is also part of why I bought the holly bells from Weird Armory, is because I forgot to wear these on the day that we went on November 30th, the second trip to Louisiana. But I got these at Texas. The woman running the little booth where I got these said that this was a new style that they had tried out this year. So I can report I love them. I absolutely love the sound. I didn't want anything too high-pitched that sounded too like fairy-like or fantastical, nor did I want anything that was particularly loud and bassy either. It was funny, as we kept walking around after I bought these, Chris went, you know, one thing that's nice about it, obnoxious as they are, because he thought I was ridiculous for buying them, but I wanted them anyway. I have always walked with a heavier step. You can hear me coming, especially if I'm wearing heels or certain kinds of boots with more solid heels. I have tried to reduce it and walk more softly, but I can really only walk quietly if I'm barefoot. Well, walking around Renfest, after I bought the boot bells, Chris looks at me at one point and goes, "It's kind of nice. I don't have to look at your feet to fall in step with you. I can just listen to the bells." Because he's so cute, he goes out of his way to walk in step with me so that we're actually like keeping pace with each other instead of one of us walking too fast and the other too slow. Then there's these gorgeous earrings I have purchased from this booth before. This is Madame Macabre's. I got a set of small little fox bones from this booth last year that I've been working with on and off to learn a slightly different form of bone throwing. Going back this year, these gorgeous earrings, because they're not too terribly long. I'm actually not wearing any today. I'll just put the pentacles back on from yesterday. But you'll have noticed in a lot of my videos, and particularly while I'm streaming, I love long dangly earrings. So if I'm wearing posts, they will stab me in the back of the head behind my ear if they're under my headphones. Especially because, you know, I've got longer hair, so smaller earrings get hidden by my hair anyway. These I thought were so pretty because they weren't overly complex, but they weren't overly simple either. And those bones that are on them are little bitty snake vertebrae, which I thought was so neat. So, and of course, you know, snakes have several meanings for me personally, so had to get those. Speaking of bones, I got this book about bone throwing from Oak and Ash and Thorn. I think it's just Oak, Ash, and Thorn, where Paul got a really nice statue as well, but this has far more details about all the different ways that you can use casting styles of divination, ways that you can kind of set up boards for it. I thought that would be very, very interesting and very helpful in helping me expand my repertoire of divination, because I've been told by several people who know me personally that when I've read for them, it's been like scary. I can't attest to that. I'm just passing on what I've been told by other people. I guess I need to keep working at it to be able to do more with it. And lastly, at, I think it's called Great Hall, there's one very large shop that has decorative stuff for your home. It has clothes. It has many, many things. I went in there for the clothing because last year, the purple top you saw me wearing first Louisiana vlog and the first day of the Texas vlog, I got at this shop last year. And so I wanted to get a couple more really nice, just soft, simple Ren Fair tops. So there's this red crop top, which I was wearing in the second Louisiana vlog, and it was super comfy. It was really nice to have something like that. Because it's loose and it's flowy, it's not sitting against the skin, it helps you keep cooler, because it was raining, but it wasn't cold that day. So I didn't want to get too hot and too sweaty. So having some of my midriff exposed helped with that. And of course you can wear it off the shoulder or on the shoulder. There was this gray halter top that is really, really versatile. I haven't actually worn it yet. I need to play around with it and see how I like it. But you can see that center portion on the front with the ties at the bottom is intended to be able to be cinched or ruched up. So if you'd like to expose your midriff or have it sort of hug the bottom curve of your breast a little more, you can. Halter at the top ties. There is a tie in the middle as well to secure that bust section. And then the waist is a cross lace cinch as well. So you can have it really hug those curves there if you want. I was gonna wear that in the second Louisiana vlog, but because it was raining and we were running late, I didn't want to have to finagle with all of the ties, especially because Chris was busy in the other room also trying desperately to get ready. So I didn't want to bother him with needing help getting tied up. Behave. And lastly, to help with colder weather Ren Fair days, I got this beautiful shawl, and you can see in that front photo that that is where Jacques' pin now lives. Actually, both of Jacques' pins. The cockade pin is from Emberglow because he has a special line of merch with them that we got several items of. I won't talk about that here because that's not what this is about. But this beautiful blue shawl, I actually wore this to Thanksgiving. It's very comfy. It's very cozy. I like the touch of fur on the neckline and the hem, and I like that there's a hint of sparkle with the individual sequins here and there without it being just covered. And that is, I think, the bulk of it. Oh, and hang on. I do want to shout this out as well. These were not purchased. These are trinkets that I received from a couple of lovely, lovely people at Texas Ren Fest. The ducky and the starfish are from two different people who were working the King of the Log game over by the jousting arena. I did not catch either of your names, and I'm very, very sorry, but they were so super sweet. We were just walking by and one of them goes, "You want trinkets?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure. We love getting random tiny shit from people we don't know at festival." So that was from them. And then a lovely gentleman and his son who were hanging out outside of, oh, I can't remember the name of it, but the tobacco shop that we stopped at one day. This man and his son were hanging out outside at the stone table in front, and the kid pulled out and handed me the adorable little glow-in-the-dark 3D printed skeleton. I won't repeat what he said it was supposed to be because it makes me uncomfortable, but I love the tiny little skeleton, and yeah, he glows in the dark. So he's been sitting on my window so that he can charge in the sunlight during the day and then glow in the dark once the sun sets. And even though my house is set back from the street, you probably can't really see it from the street. If someone does spot it at night, it hopefully looks strange and confusing. That is everything I could remember that we got at Louisiana and Texas Ren Fests. Holy shit, I've been talking for 48 minutes, what the fuck? And we could have spent a lot more. One of the things with Texas is that we usually are careful not to purchase anything that's too huge or overwhelming of an item, because we A, would have to carry it back to camp, and B, have to drive it back home. And driving it back home the 5 hours from Todd Mission, Texas is very different from driving home the 45 minutes from Hammond, Louisiana. But we still found a lot of wonderful items. I definitely feel like I bought fewer items this year at both festivals than I have in the past, probably because at this point a lot of my kit for going to Ren Fairs is built up enough that I don't feel the need to necessarily keep adding to it. So at this point it's items that I just really like as opposed to feeling like I need. I think the only other thing I need at this point is maybe commissioning some Catskill moccasins, but we will see. That's gonna have to wait till after the wedding because those are expensive. Let me know which item you thought was most interesting in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you probably know where the buttons and the links are to show me that love. But again, around this time of year, as I mentioned in the Terra video, I like to remind people, so hit that thumbs up button to let me know you liked the video. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what you thought was the most interesting item or was your favorite item, or anything that you got at a Ren Fair this year that you particularly love. Hit that share button to send this video to anyone else who you think might like it, or or save this to a playlist if you want to be sure you can find it again to watch it at a later date if you liked it that much. But if nothing else, I hope you will consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. It is free. Don't let the word subscribe fool you. And while you're there, ring that notification bell to turn on all notifications so you never miss a single video. If you would like to see more content like this vlog specifically, I have my vlog playlist linked in the cards in the upper right hand corner, as well as in the description, where you can also find my Linktree portal to keep up with my adventures on other social media planes such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and the like. As always, I would like to give a huge special thanks to my covens of patrons and Twitch subscribers who continue to be my biggest supporters. And if you, dear viewer, would like to join either of their ranks, again, check that Linktree portal for my Patreon, which begins at $1 per month, or my Twitch channel, where tier 1 subs begin at $5.99 per month. Thanks again. Stay tuned for part 52 of Breath of the Wild, as well as eventually the making of a hat and a set of pockets for Sybil. I promise I'm still working on her. And I shall speak to you all again very, very soon. Keep angling, my loves. Bye, y'all.